Consumers Energy says a state of Michigan decision expected Friday could affect what customers pay and how quickly power is restored after storms. The utility company is asking the Michigan Public Service Commission, the state agency that regulates utilities, to approve its 2026 Reliability Action Plan. That includes a $423 million rate hike for customers.
If our full revised ask is approved, customers' bills would increase by approximately just over $14 a month.
Consumers says the rate increase will help with more tree trimming, put up stronger power poles, and enhance grid technology. Consumer says it's working toward long-term goals of restoring power within 24 hours and limiting any single outage to less than 100,000 customers. Jackson City Council